Hello, everybody. I'm John Locke, and I'd like to welcome you to the LockeInYourSuccess.com Trading Performance Podcast, where it's all about real traders, real problems, and real coaching. Listen up and enjoy the segment.
When we think of these three elements that we've been presenting, think of it as the three-legged stool, right? If you pull one of the elements out, then the chair is going to fall down. And, we here at Lock In Your Success feel that psychology is the most important element. It's the way that you access your edge. It's the way that you access the components on how to run your business in a proper manner. Without the psychology and the proper mindset, really nothing else is going to matter. If you don't have that mental makeup, you're going to run into all sorts of problems, thinking in terms of scarcity, which we can talk about a little bit later. Get myopic about strategies. You don't have an open mind. You're not fluid with what's happening in the market. If you don't have a proper mindset and mental approach, then you're going to neglect the business component of this business. So having a complete mental approach is really, really, really critical. Trading is a marathon. It's not a get rich quick sprint. Say that fast 5 times. I know that's kind of, and like I said, I've been there. It hasn't been that long for me in relative terms, where that's usually the first things that attract you to trading. The barriers to entry are almost zero, right? If you've got some capital, an internet connection, a PC, you can open a brokerage account, you're in. So, there are no
and
real
you have
barriers.
more than enough people telling you it's easy. Just follow me.
There's plenty of people that'll, take a monthly subscription to tell you that it's super easy and so on and so forth. And, that's just a recipe for disaster.
And two,
I think, as we know. Yeah.
Right. So another thing too is, right. So here's the thing. Strategy is important. Trading strategy is important. Let's not underestimate that. But what I can tell you is this: if you have the right mindset as a trader and you understand business models, you can make virtually any style of trading and any strategy work. Okay. Right. But I can take somebody with any trading strategy, regardless of how good it is, and if their mindset's bad, they can't follow the strategy, they will do poorly. Their trading is eventually going to blow apart. So it comes back to the mindset. The same thing with a business model. If you can't follow your business model because your mindset's off, it all comes back to the mindset. Everything comes back to that, and that's critically important. And I can tell you too, that was critically important in my success. And I did the same thing a lot of you guys did. I mean, we didn't have the type of information we have today, but back in 2005, 2006, I'm going through trading strategy after trading strategy. I'm following this person, I'm following that person, trying to figure out a way or just a set of rules or whatever where this magical system is going to make me money all the time. I was there too, and realistically, I learned a lot with strategies that way because I tried a whole bunch of different things, and that to some extent that's really good, right? You get that experience down, but realistically, I didn't start making money or be profitable until I just decided that, hey, this mindset thing, I have to basically do the things that will make me successful in any area of life, and if I do that, I'll be successful in trading, and that's when things started working for us.
Right. Yeah, and that's really well said, right? You're not going to be a CPT, consistently profitable trader, until you internalize those things about ourselves. And there's one quote that wasn't really meaning to bring this up, but it really came to mind as we were just talking, John, that you've had this quote that you've had in the past is: we are so insecure that we are looking for constant validation from a winning trade. Mm-hmm. That is literally exactly the first mental / decision trap we fall into when we start trading. And you don't even think of it in those terms, but type A personalities, those of us that are very competitive, which is probably everybody on this presentation, on this call, we're competitive people. And we don't even really know it subconsciously. A winning trade feeds that need for validation and all these other human needs, which we will touch on later. But that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. We're not talking about just win, lose, make money, don't make money. It's what does that trade say about our needs and wants and validation that we might have. So when we're talking about psychology, that's the kind of level of stuff we're talking about.
Right, and that's huge because that goes right back to where we started, where people are trading something because it did well recently, and they're scaling up size because it did well recently, and then it loses and their confidence level is shattered because they put their confidence in the wrong thing first of all, right? Mm-hmm. And then they just blow apart. So good talk there.
It makes things much more difficult. when you don't address or at least recognize and accept these things up front. So we've laid out these three elements, three legs of the stool, if you will: the trading strategy, the business model, and the trader mindset. I'd like to touch on each one of these components individually and dig into some of the detail.
And that is what I have for you today. If you have any questions or comments or anything else you'd like to see in the next Trading Performance podcast, please list that in the comments and I'll personally answer your questions and comments for you. Also, I'd love to encourage you to come on over to lockinyoursuccess.com. That's LOCKE in yoursuccess.com, and check out our Trading Performance and Pro memberships, where you can find the tools you need to become a much more effective trader, regardless of the type of trading you do. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on the next Trading Performance podcast.